What is up, guys? In today's video, we are going to be watching this video from ProZero about the Fortnite community's reaction to the Simpsons season and how much hate it is already getting. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. ProZero's video will be linked down in the description below, and let me know in the comments what you think about the upcoming Simpsons season. I don't know much about the Simpsons. I think the only thing I've ever seen is like the first movie that came out, and I'm not a big fan. But I also just don't really care that much when it comes to a mini season, especially one like this at the end of the chapter. We are getting an entire new map, an entire new loot pool likely for a month. And then come December, we're going to be going into chapter 7 with another map and another loot pool. So like the amount of content and the amount of change that is going to be coming over the next few weeks in Fortnite, I think is very exciting, regardless of how you feel about The Simpsons. Like just a brand new map, I think, is the most exciting time in Fortnite. And then we are going to be getting an entire new map for the Simpsons season, and I assume that's something that's going to be talked about during this video.
This new Simpsons season, that's some people are absolutely losing their minds over this new Simpsons season that's coming to Fortnite, you guys, and some of them are actually like full on raging about this season before it has even dropped yet. So Fortnite Simpsons season just keeps getting crazier, you guys, and we're about 12 or so days away from the reveal of...
Is this what The Simpsons looks like? I haven't really watched the show, but is this like accurate to the art style of the series?
This brand new season. If you guys don't know, yesterday we found out that a full-on Springfield map is coming for just a month in November, but now new leaks today revealed that the entire map might actually be cell shaded.
Okay, so this is one of the huge points of contention, is that it was leaked or rumored that the entire map is going to be cell shaded, and I think within the Fortnite community, a lot of people interpret cell shaded as like anime, because a lot of the anime skins we have in game are cell shaded. Or even this. This is the Borderlands POI we had in Season X, and this was cel-shaded.
Graphics in totality, and the community is kind of going wild over this in kind of a balanced, mixed way.
Like, people interpret this new map being Borderlands or being anime. I don't really understand, like, art or design stuff, but I think cell shading is, like, a spectrum. Like, it doesn't just mean that everything looks like this. And my expectation, this is why I asked my chat if this is what The Simpsons looks like, if we're getting a Simpsons themed season and they are changing the entire art style of the map to match that, I expect it to look like The Simpsons. Like, I feel like we're going to get something much more in line with this than Borderlands or anime, right? Because The Simpsons doesn't look like Borderlands, or it doesn't look like Dragon Ball. Like, it looks like this. And so this kind of art style is what I would expect for the Simpsons map. But people have been kind of running wild with the whole like cell shading thing.
Might actually be cell shaded, like all of the graphics in totality, and the community is kind of going wild over this in kind of a balanced, mixed way. Some people are really upset, and some people are cautiously optimistic.
I've seen nonstop
We talked
hate.
yesterday about how Springfield is officially going to be the next map, and the Chapter 3 map is not returning, despite some of the early leaks and theories, unfortunately. But the biggest surprise came earlier.
So is one like rumor that the Simpsons season, it was known that it would be on a different map than the Chapter 6 map for a while. And there was one kind of theory that, and I personally kind of thought this might be the case, is that it would be on the Chapter 3 map with some POIs being replaced by Simpsons POIs. Like how last year we had Chapter 2 remix. It was the Chapter 2 map, but it was remixed with like the rappers. So they like intertwined an OG season and a collab season. And that's kind of what I was thinking The Simpsons was going to be, but it turns out that that is not going to be the case, and it's going to be an entirely new and original map. And I guess some people that really wanted the Chapter 3 island again are sad about that, but also I think if you're a Fortnite player, having an entire new unique map for a month is something that's like exciting.
Here today when we found out that the entire graphics are going to have a complete overhaul, kind of looking either stylized like cartoon-like visuals or the cell shading that we know in Fortnite. Now this is probably going to be the biggest visual leap that Fortnite has ever made, and a lot of people are completely split with this. Some absolutely love it, but some think it's going to ruin the game. Some people actually saying that Fortnite is going to die for this month. So today we're going to look at how people are
Fortnite has been dying every month and every day for the past 6 years, I guess.
Reacting to this, what they're saying, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on whether this is actually a good idea and why I think a lot of you should be excited for this season and at least give it a chance if you're worried about it not being fun. So as you guys know, The Simpsons is a cartoon, and many times when we get cartoon skins inside of Fortnite, they will be cell shaded. And for some reason, a lot of people do not like the cell shaded variations of skins. I think they look really good on a select.
I don't like the cell shaded skins, but I feel like it's just because they pop so easily. Like they stick out so much that I don't want to use them. I feel like in Fortnite, there's very few like pay to win skins. Like even the gray superhero, I don't have like that hard of a time seeing compared to a regular skin. But like those anime cell shaded skins stick out so much.
Number of skins, like with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, I really don't think they look that good. But with, you know, the pen and ink styles of skins and things like that and other skins in the game, I think they actually do look pretty well. Like the anime skins and things, I think those actually look pretty well inside of Fortnite. I kind of expected them to do this, and I really hope that they would actually commit 100% to new graphics for a kind of cartoon art style of this new season. But this instantly made people think of other times where we've had kind of cell shaded POIs in Fortnite.
Pandora.
And one of the only ones I can think of is the Pandora POI from Chapter 1 Season.
Again, remember at the start of the video, this looks very different than that.
Next.
They're
Now,
both cell shaded, I guess, but like the difference
kind of
is there.
Anomaly locations where they changed a location into this.
I liked this POI a lot.
Because there was all types of, you know, realities collapsing in on the Chapter 1 map. Now, that cell-shaded kind of Borderlands area looked like a completely different game. But if you guys remember, and if you didn't play, then you may not know, a lot of people really did not like this POI. I specifically thought it was really cool, but a lot of
the art style changed to like a Borderlands art style in real time as you entered the POI, and then if you exited the POI, it went back to like regular Fortnite graphics. And as he said, a lot of people just look at that and they're like, oh, this looks different. I hated it. I didn't really mind it. And Season X, a lot of the POIs had weird effects. And the effect for this POI was that you regenerated shield over time if you weren't in a fight. And so I liked it for that reason. And just a lot of the map, I did not enjoy it this time because those weird effects were annoying.
People thought it hurt their eyes, it just didn't look good, or it didn't fit well in Fortnite. Of course, back then it didn't really fit in well because it didn't really match the kind of jagged aesthetic of the Chapter 1 map. But now I think if the map is kind of built around those graphics, I think it could look pretty good. Now, of course, you guys, this could be a bit of a misinterpretation. Of course, when the leakers say the next season is going to be fully cell shaded, that could mean a few different things. You know, full on cell shaded could mean like thick outlines, more flat colors, kind of like how we see Toon Meowsos or the Spider-Verse skins, things like that. Now, that is a full on cell shaded thing, and I could definitely see why a lot of people wouldn't like that. But the other option is kind of a lighter, more kind of dumbed down version that just gives everything a more kind of stylized, animated feel. Something new entirely that we haven't actually seen inside of Fortnite. Of course, when you actually watch cartoons, they're not really fully cell shaded like how we see skins are in Fortnite. In my opinion, I think this will honestly end up just being a more cartoony looking vibe, kind of like what we see here. Now, this is a
yeah, this looks more similar to the picture we saw at the start of the video, which matched The Simpsons. And as I said then, if they're changing the entire art style of the game or in the map because of a Simpsons season, why would it be something that isn't The Simpsons? You know, like it's going to look more like The Simpsons than Pandora. Like that just makes the most sense.
Concept, a UEFN map that was made by someone. I actually do not know the creator, so I do apologize, but this is what his looked like. And honestly, you guys, I think this may end up being what this looks like, just trying to kind of envelop us in this kind of cartoon reality. I think this is all they need to do. I don't think this is too much. I don't think it's really bad on the eyes. I think it works pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I don't think that looks bad at all. But I'm also not someone who really cares that much about the art style. Like, in early Fortnite days, there was a lot of people who kind of hated on the game and refused to play it because of the cartoony art style. And I feel like a lot of those people would maybe feel the same way about this. But it's just like, I don't care. Like, if the game is fine to look at, it's fine to look at. I preferred the original Fortnite art style in Chapter 1. In Chapter, like, kind of 5 and 6, it's been a little more realistic. I prefer the old one, like I said, but I don't mind this either. Like, I don't despise the current art style. It's just, it is what it is.
This is too much. I don't think it's really bad on the eyes. I think it works pretty well.
But I think this is fine.
So just for a quick question for you guys, if it actually did end up looking like this, do you think it would be bad? Would you be okay with it being like?
I would be okay with it, but as I said, there's a lot of people who like hyper fixate on graphics for some reason, and I don't think they would like this. But I think if you are playing Fortnite for like realism, that is an interesting perspective.
Like this, let me know down below in the comments. Of course, we're not going to truly know until the trailer comes out or until the gameplay comes out or when the season actually does release. We may not even know. We will just have to wait and see. But there is kind of some nuance to this new graphic style. Now, honestly, you guys, I've wanted Fortnite to do something big like this for a while, something that really changes how the game looks. If they can pull this off in a way that still feels natural and really envelops us in this world, I think a lot of people are going to end up loving it once they're in game, because when is Fortnite ever going to have an opportunity to do something like this with the graphics ever again? If it ends up being good, it's going to go down as one of the most unique seasons that we've ever had. They've been working on this for absolutely months, and Fortnite Epic Games wouldn't take a risk like this unless they were confident that it would look good and people would like it. Like, Fortnite works on these seasons years in advance.
I don't know about that. I mean, they do work in advance, but I'm saying the idea that they wouldn't do something unless they're sure people would like it, I don't know about that, because there's no way to please the entirety of the Fortnite community. It just is what it is.
Like, it just got revealed today that Fortnite,
no matter what they do, there will be haters,
is playtesting Chapter 7 Season 2 and the first mini-season of Chapter 7. So they've been working on this for a long time, especially with a brand new map and an overhaul of the graphics. They have to think that it will be good. But in terms of what the actual community thinks, of course, on Twitter, there were all types of people saying that it's going to kill the game, that they're not going to be playing, or that Reload and OG are going to have record player counts, because
that's something that'll be interesting. So like Reload and OG are still going to be playable during this mini season, and it'll be interesting to see like the player count comparison, like if Reload gains a lot or not. I don't know about OG, but I think if any mode was to gain a lot because people hate the mini season, it would be Reload. And that is a very good point, is that like people are, it seems like there's a lot of hate for this already, and there's so much like stress within the community about whether or not it's going to be good or bad. It is a 1 month long mini season. Even if it is the worst season of all time, how many hours is the average Fortnite player playing in a month anyways? Like if you're someone who has a job or school and has like a life and stuff, you're probably not playing, you know, dozens of hours of this in a month anyways. So like, I don't know. I feel like people have already spent as much time stressing about it as they are going to play it. And even if you despise it, Reload is there, OG is there. There's other options within Fortnite for that month. But even then, I've never felt like the month-long mini seasons, even if you don't like it, I've never felt like it was that like detrimental or that big of a problem. Like we had the Star Wars mini season this year, and I feel like that is less unique than this one because it was like on the Chapter 6 map, you know, with just a few Star Wars POIs. This is going to be an entirely different POI or entire different map. I have not liked past Star Wars updates in Fortnite, but I was going into that season like kind of like whatever. Like it's a month long, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, people are very much concerned about that. I hope he kind of talks about the map. I don't know if this video is just about the art style or what.
Everyone's gonna abandon BR. But I actually wanted to hear directly from you guys. So I asked on my community tab, I told people that the season graphics will be cell shaded, and I asked them, how are you feeling about this season right now? With everything that we know, are you excited? What do you think? Now, thank you to everybody who responded to these, but I picked out a few here. As you can see, this person said, I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. This might be really hard on the eyes for some. Also, I just thought of this, since the entire graphics are gonna be cell shaded, would it be an advantage to run cell shaded skins?
That's what I thought as well. Like I was saying earlier, the cell shaded skins pop so much usually, they like conflict with the regular art style that it makes them stand out. Maybe cell shaded skins would be OP, but I don't think so. I think even if we got something that looks more similar to like the actual Simpsons, I think the cell shaded skins would still like pop so much.
Overall, I'm pretty excited, but I can see this not being for people who have no connection with the show, and I completely understand that. That's something I actually hadn't even thought about. If cel-shaded skins kind of blend in better, we might see people using those more competitively, but I do get the concern overall. If it's too bright or hard on the eyes, that could turn a lot of people off. A lot of what brings people to Fortnite is kind of the cartoony vibe, and I think, honestly, like I said in my last video, this would be the best kind of situation for Fortnite to have, where it's like an ultimate cartoon map.
I don't agree that if you have no connection to the show, it wouldn't be an interesting season. As I said earlier, we get an entirely different map. We get an entirely different loot pool for a month. Regardless of if you care a lot about The Simpsons or don't care at all, like I don't care. I feel like that prospect of something very different for a month and an entire map for a month is exciting and interesting. And with past collab updates, those were to a smaller scale, but like there's still ways to enjoy them even if you don't care about the collab. Like we recently had the K-pop Demon Hunters update. Never seen it, probably never will see it. But the mask we had, Like, all the items we had for that update were good. The mask I enjoyed, the noodles I enjoyed, the shield bubble I enjoyed. What are some other, like, updates we've had? Like, the Dragon Ball update, I don't watch that, but, like, the Nimbus Cloud was fine. Spider-Man, the only Spider-Man movie I've seen was the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Don't really care about it, but, like, the Spider-Man web shooters were a good mobility item. Like, I don't agree that, like, if you can only enjoy a collab if you already like that existing IP. Like, I feel like it's not that way at all. But a lot of people kind of go into it with that mindset of, like, I don't like The Simpsons, therefore I hate this season.
But a lot of people have asked.
Yeah, Star Wars. I don't watch Star Wars, but, like, the pump shotgun that season was fine. The red dot AR we had that season was fine. Like, I feel like people base so much on, like, the themes of things and not, like, the gameplay.
For more cartoony graphics. I really do think that Epic's smart enough to kind of tune the visuals properly. It'll probably be stylized, but not too overwhelming. I definitely think Fortnite would think, hey, if people use like cell shaded skins and they look exactly the same as the environment, they may blend in. So hopefully they did think about that while they were developing the graphics. Now, this person right here said cautiously optimistic. The theming isn't personally for me, and I fear that it'll lead to the lowest amount of play.
It probably will. The Star Wars mini season was like a very low dip in the player count, and the past mini seasons we've had in November with OG and OG Remix like brought a lot of old players back. I don't think this one will hit the same, and I feel like Simpsons isn't as much of like a driving force to get people into the game as Star Wars was. Like, there's a lot of people that are Simpsons fans, but I feel like I know a lot of people who are Star Wars fans who, like, it is a sense of their identity. Like, you know, this person is a Star Wars fan. You know what I mean? Like, they own a lot of merch. They, like, have stuff like that. I don't know anybody like that for The Simpsons. Like, it's just not as, like, fanatical as a fan base, I guess. So I don't think there will be people installing Fortnite just because it's a Simpsons. There will be, probably, but not to the same degree as Star Wars. So I think this probably will not perform as well as past November mini seasons. And then people, like, will hyper fixate on the player count being low and hate on it for that reason.
Players we've ever seen, but I'm hopeful the gameplay is fun. We'll definitely have a lot more variety than the Star Wars blasters. That is absolutely for sure. There's definitely no really like realm for recycled content here because we haven't seen, you know, a Simpsons event every year for the last 4 years like we had with Galactic Battle, but I think that's totally fair. The Simpsons theme, I think it's fair to say, is definitely kind of niche at this point. The Simpsons really isn't as relevant as it used to be. Not everyone is going to connect to that world.
I feel like even if it was relevant, it was like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like there's people that enjoy it, but it's not as like big of a deal to them as like some other IPs are. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like Star Wars and Marvel especially, I feel like the people that really like that, they like really like that. Or even Pokemon. I know people that are really into Pokemon, they have like a bunch of like the Funko Pops and stuff. Like, there's just certain fan bases that are like more into their thing, and while The Simpsons is like, you know, I guess it's popular, I don't think it's to the same degree.
But at least they are trying something different.
Like, people aren't that into it.
The map design are solid. That will matter more to me than the theme, and I think a lot of people feel the same. I feel like Fortnite's collab mini seasons have always been hit or miss. You know what I mean? Galactic Battle was the same way. It had a lot of hype for a little while, then cooled off fast because of the repetition. Hopefully they learned from that for sure. Now, this is the last one I picked out here. He said, I don't really know The Simpsons, and so I assume a good bunch of other people have only heard of them, which I guess that's fair. I think this season could rather be very good or go down in flames. It all depends on how players respond to it and if they can make it fun for everyone.
I feel like they always do that. Like, the Star Wars stuff, I don't care about Star Wars, but that season was fine. Like, I enjoy Fortnite. I enjoy using the pump shotgun in Fortnite. The pump shotgun they gave us in the Star Wars season was good.
Whether if they know The Simpsons or not, and I think that's a very accurate comment. That right there, I feel like sums up the entire conversation. This could either be one of the most fun seasons Fortnite's ever done, genuinely I do think that, or it could just flop because it doesn't appeal beyond Simpsons fans, which I don't really know how many Simpsons fans are out there, to be honest, but I actually think that Fortnite knows this. That's why they're going so
100%.
hard with the visuals, maybe even tying it in with the lore, because we're gonna have 2 events. They want this to be memorable for everyone, not just kind of fans of the show. And I
can't think of a collab that was like only enjoyable for fans of the show, or or series or movie or whatever.
Think they understand that. It's interesting. When this league first dropped a few months ago, you guys, almost everyone hated the idea. Even me, I was like, there's no way they're actually going to do that. But lately, I feel like it's become more balanced now that we're getting more information. There's still definitely a lot of negativity. A lot of people aren't fans of it and they're not excited for it. And that's perfectly fine. If you're not excited for it, then you don't have to play. But I would urge you to give it a chance. I feel like more people are starting to say, hey, you know, maybe this could actually work. People seem to be overall warming up to the idea, which I think is good. Now, personally, you guys, I'm also cautiously optimistic. I get the worries 100%, but I've got a really good feeling about this one. I feel like they've really been nailing crossovers lately, and every time they go all in, whether it's OG Fortnite or now The Simpsons, it usually ends up being way more fun than expected. And this is something I wanted them to do, is commit to a theme, take a risk, and there's still a lot that we don't know. We haven't seen gameplay. We don't know the exact...
nothing about the items.
POIs or what the story connection is at all, but Fortnite always seems to hide something special for the event or the launch and things like that. Now, I really hope that there is a lore explanation too, like the Dark Presence punishing.
This is something that I personally don't really care about. Like, I'm not going to enjoy the season any more or less, whether or not they explain it well or not. Like, I just play the game.
Us for entering the spirit realm. That'd make this whole thing even better. It's risky and ambitious, and if they pull it off, it'll be one of Fortnite's most creative moves ever, in my opinion. It's not very often, you guys, that Fortnite gives us a brand new map, completely new graphics, and maybe even new gameplay mechanics, because The Simpsons is a completely different realm that we've never seen in Fortnite before. They're not going to do that lightly. They clearly believe that this season will work, and hopefully that gives you guys some peace of mind before it comes out. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the map since he didn't. I've seen a lot of people hating on the idea of a Simpsons map. Let's ignore the art style for a moment and just talk about the idea that, like, the map is taking place in Springfield, which is the area the Simpsons is, right? And a lot of people are just full hating that and saying it's stupid. And I don't really understand it because it's not that detached from what we've already had in Fortnite. Like, there's residential areas, there's shopping areas, there's a power plant. We've already had a power plant POI before. Like, I don't know why people look at the idea of, oh, the entire map is made up of Simpson stuff as like a net negative, when like how is this so different from what we've had in the past? If you look at like Fortnite maps, like there's buildings. Like, if the map was like, I don't know, a barren wasteland, then I get why that would maybe be like a point of concern, or an entire jungle with no buildings or something like that. I get why that would be a point of concern, but this, I feel like, has decent potential to be a map for me, because a lot of my favorite POIs are like residential or like shopping areas. Like, I like Retail Row, Pleasant Park, Salty Springs, Salty Splits in Chapter 4, Slappy Shores in Chapter 4. Chapter 5, I liked Pleasant Piazza, Reckless Railways, Hazy Hillside. Like, a lot of the POIs I enjoy are just regular houses, and it seems like we'll definitely get some of that in this Fortnite map. And so yeah, I don't really get it. I think people also said like the Mr. Burns is a character in this, and he has like a mansion or something like that. That gives me like kind of Lavish Lair, Lone Wolf Lair vibes. Like, the idea of a map set in a city is not that different from what we've already had. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. As I said, his video will be linked down in the description below. Check him out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.